Okay, guys. So, okay. So right now I don't have too much time to explain here because we have overlap. So this is how it looks like.
2 minutes in.
Confirmation 2 minutes in, and a better picture on the viz that shows just
Wow, that's interesting.
Fantastic images
continuing
there
to get good
from
calls.
the
But the next step
launch
will be
54
pitching
Okay,
minutes
over.
ago.
so we are also going to see the
Launch
ignition
ups itself to
for
prepare to
second
descend down
ignition
to
of
the
the
lunar
Vinci.
surface, and also activate HDA or hazard detection and avoidance. Can you break that down for us too?
Yeah, we touched on this at the top of the show, Leah. We are going in at about 450 meters for PDI versus our originally planned 400 meters. And that's because we had some uncertainty and variability within the recent landing measurements, going in about 50 meters higher, allowing those flight controllers to manually confirm and switch
Wow.
alternative measurements.
Okay,
So we do expect
almost the time before CSO3
estimated landing time
will be
closely
deployed.
towards that estimated 11:30 Central Time. That's 12:30
It's
Eastern. And right now
rather
we're
hard
standing by,
decision.
just about to hit 3 minutes into this burn. We're listening for
3 minutes in.
there it is. How about that? And we're listening in to hear for things about how many kilometers uprange we may be. We know this braking burn will continue to happen until about 2 kilometers from our intended landing site. Now that intended landing site is where Athena.
Still processing good deposit.
Hey, that's a good call. All right,
Okay.
folks at home, that deposit is that delta position, meaning the lander is taking
Okay,
pictures
should be
in flight, and
any
she's
seconds
comparing
from
those
now
two
for
pictures
the
together to
Vinci ignition.
determine how much have I moved and figure out how fast did I get there in order to affirm that Athena's going in the right direction, making it. We'll stand by for a call out to confirm the altitude as well as the
Okay,
distance to the landing
already
site.
have it
But if there's a
position
good deposit, we have
and
no
the
problem again. We do expect
Australia.
to plan and
Oh,
land
and I think
right
it's
around the
already
regional time
almost
frame,
past
and maybe also as well
from
as
my
we
place.
descend
So
towards the
hi.
lunar surface, making sure that our radios and antennas are in the right config.
490 seconds left in the burn.
490 seconds left in the burn. That's code.
Uh-uh.
We've been burning
Okay,
for about 4
fine.
minutes, Leah.
versatility and flexibility of this new
We'll
upper
stand by to try
stage.
to
It
get
has two
some
main
more data and
functions.
call
One of
outs
them
here,
is
maybe
to
some kilometers up range, as well as the mixture
small
ratio,
thrust,
trying to
two
figure
little
out the
thrusters
vehicle's
mounted in
performance.
Oh
the
no.
A
of the
mixture
upper
of liquid
stage.
methane and liquid oxygen going into the engine. Let's
Fastest
take a second
step
and
on the
listen
I
in
propeller
think
to
maybe I
Athena.
can try do like this.
in order to make
Okay,
sure that the balance are
this one is
Use a
actually
different mode inside
much
of
better.
the guidance, navigation, and control software called out from
Getting up
Michaela
close now
Landivar, if I'm
to
not
the
pressures and
next
temperatures
main
still nominal.
event, which will be the switching on
Nominal
of the
temperatures.
Vinci
Oh,
engine.
wait, it actually didn't.
450 seconds left
Now,
in
this
the
is
Okay,
braking.
5 minutes in.
let's see.
Code
This is the
5.
initial for the second initial of the Vinci.
Burn, the power descent initiation really
Okay, it's not going to be that long, so that it's going to be second second shutdown of the Vinci engine.
lunar orbit itself.
Ready?
Since then,
Yes,
Athena
it
has
will
been
be
completely
5
autonomous. So,
seconds.
Josh, is there anything right now that flight controllers can still command on the spacecraft?
Okay,
That's a good point.
already shut
There
down
is an
second
autonomous
shutdown of the
process that is
Vinci
bringing
engine.
Athena from descent
Very
orbit
good.
insertion, triggering powered descent
And we have the
initiation,
confirmation there
and
that
then
we've
through to
switched
the
the
lunar
Yeah,
surface.
engine
Flight
off.
controllers
so
do have a
hopefully you
few
don't mind.
So
options to
that's good
manually
news.
I'm going to
select.
pause.
We talked about
To
allowing a
So,
little bit of
Lim.
extra time,
Okay,
that additional 50 meters
going
for
well.
PDI.
okay.
Tracking stations have been
Give me
feeding
some time.
information
We're
as it
I'm
flows
almost up
going
over to
on
to
the quick look
6
telemetry
minutes
teams, or we
inside of
call
this
them the
burn.
CVI
I'm
We have
going
a
to
few
teams.
pause.
They're
quick
then
meters
updated.
allowing flight
They
controllers
are
to
now
Hard.
manually confirm and
tracking
screen
our
alternative
rockets.
measurements, as we
What's the
did have
atmosphere
a
like?
little bit of uncertainty and
There's a lot
variability
of
with recent landing
adrenaline.
measurements.
They're all focusing on
By
what
my
they see
count,
on the
this crosses
Okay.
screens.
about 6
There are
minutes,
moments
Leah.
of tension during the critical phases, like the liftoff and the stage
Planes were
operations.
at
To
775
But of course, a
acknowledged.
lot of
Athena,
relief when
Another
the
guidance,
rocket
navigation, and
passes
control mode
successfully
call
over
out
these
there.
lunar.
different phases.
Indeed,
We
it's
are
a very
over
dynamic
halfway into this
operation.
11-minute burn using
Ignition.
the main engine on
Dynamic,
Athena.
Yeah.
high
Okay.
pressure
So
environment,
in
but
braking two.
also
what's
incredibly rewarding
Braking 2,
because
my
this
screen right
progressing
now?
that
team is
PDI
essential
count.
to
I
the
need
success
to.
of the mission. And actually, the range operations manager
Oh,
is
come on.
listening to them
Fuck
on the
off.
comms loop, and they're giving the information for
350
him to
seconds
then
left in
call out to
braking,
the
just
whole
crossing over
base.
the 6.5-minute mark
So,
since
looking here at
PDI,
the
powered descent
animation
initiation.
images
This is one
as we
continuous
fly
burn
over
from PDI all
Australia.
the way down to the surface.
We've had a few more questions coming in on the chats.
All right, we're
lots
still
of you
processing
messaging
delta
in.
position. Those are
Diego
camera
wanted to
measurements
know,
the
David,
lander is
what
looking at and making
do
decisions.
you guys offer? So Ariane
One of those
Space,
decisions will
which is the
be
company which
using hazard
operates
detection
the
to
launches.
fly to an
What do you
intended
offer that
landing
other
region
launch
and
service
then
providers don't?
autonomously make those decisions
Well,
of a
at
safe
Ariane
site,
Space,
whether
we
that's safe from
offer
a boulders or steep
customized
slopes. We'll
launch
hear those
services to
call
our
outs after we
customers.
pitch
So
over
we work
to
already.
PDA, and that's
We
what we're
work hand
listening
in hand
for
with
to
them
figure out where
in
those
order to
hazards are
tailor
and choose a new
our
landing
launch
site.
services to their needs.
Propulsion nominale.
And in order to,
Now
to
over
be
7
very,
minutes into the burn,
precise
Okay.
in the
breaking
needs
For
burn.
7
of
to
the
the burn.
customer. Here we see the
Okay.
teams
That's
in
why I
100 seconds
intentionally
left.
just
launch
This
control
breaking
center
burn
keep
engine is still
that
keep the sound
have
open.
and
done
great
all the
confirmation
preparation
about the engine
just
itself.
before liftoff,
That engine is
and
bringing
of
us.
course are now,
176 acknowledged.
relieved to have seen
Engine is bringing
the
us from
launcher
about 4,000
Nice.
miles per
launching
hour
and
to eventually a soft
starting
about
its
1
journey
meter
into
per
space.
second or about
They
3 feet
do
per
certainly
second
look,
landing.
Okay, let's
Yeah, I'm
do it.
catching a little
very
jitters
happy
watching
actually with
the
the way things are going so
images
far.
here, so I think folks at
We've got
home will be
another
seeing
question
the
here
same
from
thing.
Sky
Remember,
Heaven,
this
who
is data
asks,
being
when will we
streamed
see
down
an
from a
Ariane
lander
6
that's breaking about
4 version
4,000
liftoff?
miles
Just a
per
reminder that
hour,
we've got
trying
two
to
versions
feed
of
that
Ariane
data
6.
back a
We've got
quarter
a
million miles
2
away,
booster version
Towers at
and
now
a
at 5
4
dB.
booster version.
just to
Oh.
enjoy a
Right,
little
and the
view.
4
minutes
booster
left.
version we should have the first
Propulsion
launch
nominale.
a bit later this year.
Cameras
We
now
can
in
see there
breaking
the
2
tracking
mode.
station in the
Pilotage calme,
We
les
are
paramètres
still
à bord
inside
sont
PDI,
nominaux.
breaking
that
2
green
mode.
dot on the southwest coast of Australia. The teams there
We
tracking
cross
us
over
right
8
now.
minutes into this burn.
The space sector really is booming, I think it's
Again,
fair to
about
say,
an
and,
11-minute
one of the
burn.
features
We don't expect
of
the engine
Ariane
to
6, of
reach
course, is
full
its
100%
flexibility
thrust.
to
It's
deliver
really
any type
a
of
throttled
satellite to
approach.
any kind
This
of orbit,
engine
and
is
that
designed
really
to
is
continuously
important because
burn
there are
and
so
throttle all the
many
way from power descent
different kinds of
initiation
space
Okay.
at 8
missions, aren't
minutes and
there?
30 seconds
From,
ago through
connecting us
touchdown.
onto the
This
internet
approach is
to
very
going out
similar
and
to what we
looking at
saw for the
other
Apollo
planets.
descent modules
Yes,
as well.
that's right. We
And
have
it makes a lot of
Propulsion
sense.
nominale.
You go in at
types of
100%
satellites
and you
that
need a
Ariane
little
6
more,
will
there's nothing
launch in
left
the
to
coming
give,
years.
right? We want to come
Telecommunication
in
satellites
nominally
for
around 90%
telephone
and then have a little bit of room to play if we
we
do
have
need to
navigation
increase
satellites
the
that
speed of which we're
everybody
slowing
uses,
down. You'll
when
hear
they
folks
take their
maybe call
cars
out
today.
the rate of
We have Earth
acceleration, but in
observation
this case,
satellites like the
for
one
us,
we are
it's
launching
5
today,
minutes
but
left.
also for
crossing
climate
over 9
and
minutes.
weather forecast. And we
Yes,
have
just a couple of minutes
constellations
left in the
satellites
breaking
that are
burn, so another
also,
look forward
being
to that
launched
rapid
and
succession of
that,
events that'll come
allow to have
immediately
internet
after breaking
coverage
is complete. We
everywhere.
will see pitch over
And then
begin.
we have
We'll
more
be using those
scientific
4
missions and
RCS or reaction
exploration
control
missions.
system
We
thrusters at
have
the
launched
top
in
of
the
the
past with
spacecraft to
Ariane 5, and we will
reorient
do it also with
Athena
Ariane 6,
before its a
missions
final
to other
approach,
planets,
vertical descent, and terminal descent.
And all of those after
yeah,
PDI,
all
Leah,
kinds
that
of
you just
missions
called
that,
out,
for
we're
which
expecting
Ariane
those to
6
happen
can be
rapidly.
used.
We can kind of sit back and let flight controllers
A reminder, we're looking
really
at
get
the
into
CSO
what's happening. We'll
satellite
take a few
attached
chances
to
in
the
between
remains of
to
our
help.
rocket, the upper
There's an
stage.
LOS on one of the
upper stage
radio
is to
systems,
deliver
again, expected as we
our
get in
satellite
towards
to the
our pitch
orbit that
over
it
maneuver.
needs to be delivered
Some
on.
jitters on the
in order
vids.
for it to
Paramètres à
start.
bord sont nominaux.
That's the
Its life
second
and our
radio.
range
So the
operations
first one,
manager is telling us that everything is going well.
the first one we
Got another
heard
question
a
here,
loss of
David,
signal.
from
Okay.
40,000.
The second
Oh,
was a
video
confirmation that the
updates.
second radio
How many
we still have
contracts
signal. So
has
it's good
Ariane
signal,
Space
Okay,
good data,
I
good
think
viz.
we can go.
Watching the show
Well,
here
Ariane
along
Space
with the
has now
folks at home.
contracts
10 minutes
signed
into
to
the burn,
launch
so
32
expecting
Ariane
just about a
6
minute more until
in
the
the coming
end
years.
of this
So
breaking
we are going to
maneuver.
be quite busy
Oh,
covering
interesting.
different types of missions that I just mentioned. Just a few weeks ago,
We
we
expect
signed
and
3
plan
new
for
contracts.
pitch over just
one
about
for
2
Ah, okay.
kilometers away
for
from
the
the
Copernicus
intended
Already
landing site.
updated,
Gives Athena
so let's do
plenty
it.
of time to pitch over and start
Because
looking
Because try it right,
forward using
just
navigation
looking me
sensors
like
to detect
just
different
typing what
hazards,
what is
as
it?
well
You can
as
do it.
altitude
Okay.
to lower down to the
first set
lunar
of
surface at
satellites.
approximately
Okay,
1
so here we go. This is a breaking 2 descent. I think rather than focus this one, we can safely ignore this a little bit and just let it overlap.
A space telescope
We are going to see this CSO3 separation.
for
Oh, wow,
European
wow, look at that. Look at that
We're
speed.
approaching 11
Science
minutes
Directorate,
into the
so
burn.
Wow,
telescope that
Local
will
look
time
at
is
that.
KOS
11:26.
Uncle
extrasolar
11 minutes in.
planets.
11 minutes
That's
in, we
very
heard another
exciting.
call out that we're
Very
up on
exciting indeed.
Quasonics. That's a
Planets
radio
around other
system.
stars. We're finding
It's
more and more of them.
26 local. I'm looking at a pitch over
Right now,
time at
right-hand side of the screen,
11:27
Okay.
and
just
about
under
52
Alright,
kilometers
seconds.
can wait
So
for a
we're
little bit. I
going
need
over
to
to the pitch
enter
over where we
the
expect
stuff here.
to have some loss of comms.
from the pad.
Earlier we
It's
talked
slightly
about
reducing 'cause we're actually
multipath. That's
coming
very
from the other
unique to
side,
the
a
lunar
bit
South
closer to
Pole,
our pad.
where our radio
Please.
signals are
And
using multiple
if you look
ways
at
to get to
the
the same
far
Okay.
destination,
side,
whether that's from
7.55
bouncing off the harsh
kilometers per
terrain
second
or some
is
different
our
polarity
speed.
issues down
That's
there on the south pole.
Okay.
We expect
just
to
under
have
8
a weaker
kilometers
than
per
normal signal,
second as we
Huh.
but we still
Okay.
want to make sure we
let's see.
Confirmation, Leah. As part of that
even
confirmation,
around our
we're going to
planet.
safe the
And there we are,
vehicle,
flying
figure
over
out
Maybe I
what's
can
there,
just
and
tap
then
it here.
start working on pictures.
Surface.
145,000
And a
Oh.
reminder,
users,
the
so
VIS is a
Okay.
simulation based on flight data, but if
we
we
We've already
do
reconnect again.
use contact
modularity to
with
adapt
the
the
lander, which
performance
can
of the
be
launcher
expected
to
based on
the
the
mission.
conditions at
Okay,
the lunar
nothing to
south
see there
pole,
for now.
we will continue
So
to
this
see
is how Ariane 6
objective
looks like,
data on this
especially with the
visualization.
CSO-3,
When we
And
will
we're
launch the
approaching
and
Ariane
the
it's going to
CES
be,
Virtual Launch
and
Vehicle
also will be
test, and we
second
expect to drop this
uh,
pod here in 2
second
minutes
turn on of
and
the
get all of
APU
our
observatory
commands
for
from
units
inside
for
the
it,
lunar
so,
module.
so the rocket will still be able to use the battery
And Chief Growth
Now,
needed
Officer,
I'm
also
going
for
to
that
serving as
mission.
mission director for
CSO3,
landing
our
this
Okay,
satellite, which
to
is
mission.
so
attached to the
you can
front
see
of the rocket
it also
motor, the
says
The
there
latest
information.
time
information.
since
We're
launch
going to be
there.
launching,
Interesting, right?
ejecting into
Around
what we call
almost 8 days
sun-synchronous
since then.
orbit.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Let me
okay.
explain what
Here we
that
can see, here we can
means.
see, here we can see.
Yeah,
Let's go,
it's
let's
an
go, let's
orbit
go.
that is synchronized with the
Still
movement of the Earth
December.
in such way that
Fortunately, there is
Just
like some
scaling.
X, Y, Z
for a place in Earth,
axis there,
which
so
is
you
a
know.
local
Okay,
time,
and
Tolerable.
as you can see,
same
right,
taking
it's now floating
places in the world
up
with taking pictures of
60 seconds
floating
left and braking.
up from the surface of the moon. Okay,
So getting close now
okay,
to
approach.
what we call separation
Engine and idle.
of the satellite. That is the process
11 meters cross range,
of
divert.
ejecting
Okay,
the
Roger.
satellite into space.
Okay,
That's a
Upper
signal that
stage
5
we're getting
is
here.
kilometers
orientating
altitude
the
from the
Stand by so
moon.
if
satellite.
we
It's a very
regain that
Now
precise
speed.
it's
Remember,
approach
the
descent.
viz that you're
series of
watching at home,
maneuvers
still
as we
watching
have
Athena.
goodness.
It's
to
doing its
place
best.
our
That's a lot of
satellite
data
in a
coming from
very
really
specific
far
and
away.
precise
All commands and all
location, if you like,
Wow.
in a very
confirmations
precise orbit in
come
order
from
for
our
it
mission
to be
director
able
Wow.
at the
to
bottom
carry
right
on
hand of your
its
screen.
job.
And
We've got
anyways,
some
I don't
music
have too
going there
much
in the
time to
background.
explain there.
There we go.
If you want to see there,
Just
I've
doing
already
some
explained
systems work.
before
So what's actually happening, David, up there now?
how this
so we're
mission looks
journeying
like.
the
It's also
launcher from
just
the
before on the
satellite into
at the end of
space
my live
right
stream
away
to
and
know what
putting it in
how
a
how
precise
this mission
direction
looks like.
as
Okay,
requested
so
by the
don't worry,
satellite.
it's already stuff explained
Then
there.
once this
But
is
just in
done,
case
we
you don't
will
know,
have the controls
it
of
has
the
some
separation command, and
uh,
there will
um,
be
PDI,
strings
some
that will gently
decent insertion.
sway the
Okay,
satellite. So we have now finished these orientation maneuvers, and the separation should take place
okay, CSO3 almost
And we
separated
are standing by
almost
monitoring the
for the
VIS just as
separation.
you are at home,
We'll
along
see.
with
Looking here
Nova
at the
Control.
animation of
I
the
think maybe I can
ejector
just put on the VIP
plan
picture
for what's
picture
happening
in
up there
We
in
are
picture.
space.
approaching approximately the time that we
Always
estimated
looks like it's
Athena would
happening very
touch
slowly,
down
but of
on the
course we
surface.
are
We
traveling
did
at
hear a
just under
call
8
out for
kilometers
a
per second.
Quasonics
Because I want to see.
QoS. That is
I
our
need to see
radio
both
system, something we
simultaneously,
expect to
even though you
happen
25
cannot
in
see.
seconds now
changeover.
to
That's
the
prior to
separation
a
of
vertical
Okay,
descent
CSO3
and terminal
it's
boost.
still
to
interesting
the
from
upper
there,
That
stage
but
of
we are
mission
going to
the
for
focus
us
the
rocket.
CSO3.
is what you're seeing on the
Huh?
Viz. Why don't we go
We currently
Listen.
are getting our
Okay.
uplink through
Okay.
Hemi
You
The
has
engine
already
has
2,
been
and
switched
we
off,
turned
have
that's
off.
confirmed.
healthy AGC values.
Uh,
Uplink
and
is
CS
working as
and
well.
waiting for the
For
CSO3
Alice, and
separation,
then
but it's
for
okay.
our
Oh,
flying,
CSO3
we have just launched
separated.
the Athena.
CSO3 has already successfully separated.
We're
The
currently
outcome is
small
very good.
CSO3
Okay,
has been
so
separated.
I think I need to update the.
Upper stage and ejecting
Yeah,
into
nice. I think I need to
space.
update that.
We're
How do I
looking
say
at some
the
very
outcome
happy
better?
faces here
So
in the Mission
bear
Control
with me.
Center and here in the Launch Control
Very
Center.
interesting so far.
A big round of
Happy
applause
faces
for
in the
everybody who has worked
mission
so
control
hard. This
and
is a
especially
very
everywhere else where it
one rigid
operated
level
for the
off the signal in a second.
Ariane
And
base.
it's
Oh,
been
okay,
confirmed as well
also another
by
success there.
Ariane Space's customers. So that's great news, David.
Yes, very, very good news. So it's a great
Okay,
achievement,
very good
Director,
news for the
congratulations
Ariane
to
to all
space.
the
And
teams with
unfortunately,
the French Ministry of Defense, CNES,
all things gone very well there.
in charge of CSO3, and of course to Ariane Space, Ariane Group,
That
GNES
was
and
the mission
ESA on the
director,
launcher
Tim
side
Crick,
Okay,
have
trying to
been
figure
working
out how
as
best to
let
begin
us
this
watch
session.
this here
There's
instead.
two inertial measurement
I think a
units
big
on
slap
board.
on
You
the
can think of
back
those
to
as your inner
everybody. I
ear.
think
So when
everyone
he's
can feel
asking what
very,
is the
very proud
sensed acceleration,
of the
that's
work
what he's
they've done
asking
today.
Okay,
about is what is that inertial measurement
they are
unit
proud
in
of
their
their
ear
work for
detecting
the
that
Ariane
sensed
Space. So,
acceleration.
Ariane Space,
Giving each
Ariane Space,
other
whatever.
congratulations
Yeah,
there
there's
in the
hugging
Mission
here
Control
in the
Center.
mission control.
Of course, the job is just finishing for some, and it's just beginning training for others, because
Again,
the
as
teams
we've
who
mentioned,
we've been chatting with and meeting
Pilotage calme.
at
the viz here is
French Space Agency
just an interpretation of
Mission
landing.
Control Center in Toulouse. taking on their baby
Yeah, let's go ahead
now.
and stay on Nova control. Looks like the
And we're
Viz
hoping
is
now
hovering. We can't
to
Okay, I think.
The
Okay.
engine is still in idle.
the CEO
Okay.
of Ariane Space,
I think,
who
yeah,
is
therefore be
accompanied
We've
calling
also
by
seen
David
uh,
Cavioles.
congratulations in the Ariane Space mission control, especially Jupiter mission control, if I remember.
We heard that we
But
have
for now, we are going to
radio,
leave that
radio
stream.
loss of signal. We just heard
Oh,
that we have
seeing guidance is
loss of signal.
for time to
LOS.
go as increasing, just indicating to me that it is the onboard nav state is not decreasing in altitude.
Okay, which means maybe it's still not yet ready to land. Oh no. Hopefully they are still fine. Oh no.
The good news, the HRN laser is now ready to fire.
Eh?
So we heard that we have one good radio sending down data, one
Okay,
that has
one
lost
good
the
radio.
signal. We have prop.
Standing by with a manual command for landed ops.
Okay,
No recommendation.
manual command,
Yep, we have
which means
prop
no longer
telling us
will
that we
use
have good
automatic.
data.
They will,
That was someone just commanding
the mission
for
control
zen
will
mode to
take
go into
over
this
this
firing
time.
mode, and someone standing by to get into our landed ops mode. I'll wait for Dr. Crane to
And
confirm
for
here.
anyone that's coming
If
to
we're
this
pulling
stream,
down data, we'll see how this
thank
goes.
you.
Looks like
Please
Tim's about ready to
stay
jump
ahead
on the
of
loop
our stream.
and sort out what we saw on the Viz versus what the folks inside of Mission Control are seeing on their
Okay,
monitors.
so far
It's a
no.
good reminder too. This
Oh.
public channel that we're listening to here
But
in
it's fine,
Studio
it's
Lee
fine.
and what people are listening to at home.
I mean, even
at
if
the
it's
landing
just
party at
one
Lone
right
Star
now,
Flight Museum.
please
folks.
stay tuned.
I'm showing that we are sensing lunar acceleration. So we're on the surface. Let's evaluate.
All right, let's continue to evaluate. I hear we do
Okay.
have a
Evaluation
picture,
still continue. By
from
by
part
now,
of
they
portion
should have
of the
already landed
descent. Is that right over
at,
there?
on the surface of
All right,
on the
so that's a
surface of the
picture
moon,
during
but they still
braking, about 10
not yet
kilometers
so,
up
MD,
from
this
the
is
lunar
prop
so
surface
slump.
that we do have while we
Okay.
wait
Can
for a little more
confirm the engine
information.
is
Oh,
still running.
so this is the picture of it.
Therefore,
Wow,
needs to be
interesting,
upright.
interesting. While Wallipon
If we were in a different
back
configuration,
then.
the engine would have
Yeah.
stopped.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
so we have confirmation. I believe that was from Khan that says the engine's still running. This picture you're looking at,
Okay. Hmm.
10 kilometers up during that braking burn, that
Okay,
power
10 kilometers
descent
up doing
initiation, that long
braking
burn
burn.
that brought us
You can see the first
4,000
braking burn.
miles per hour braking burn.
Wow, this is
Incredible
one of
shot
the
Yeah, that's
there.
what I'm
great
seeing as well.
picture. Oh, another one,
All right,
another
there's a
one.
better view there. Looks like
Wow,
from this panel we're
magnificent,
looking at the garage. So that's Lunar
magnifique.
Outpost map rover inside
Wow.
of that square right there, Leah. And this looks like it's probably about the same altitude, maybe about 10 meters above the surface. And one more here for everyone. It's about the same altitude there, maybe a little bit more exposure, but
Camera's still running in HRN mode.
these photos came down
Mhm.
for us just a few moments ago. Wanted to share those before we jump into
Oh,
mission control.
wow.
Controllers are looking at this dynamic situation and learning
Yeah, go
more.
ahead and put us in landed
this
ops.
section.
Flabbergasted
Now,
moment.
we need to evaluate that situation, and I'd like to get a picture.
Okay.
As they say, picture it didn't happen.
Hello,
So Dr. Crane's onto it right there. A couple things here, Leah.
FM3402 was acknowledged. AOS on Thales.
What we're hearing in our ears and what folks at home are listening to are not the
Mode
only
20 landed
channels
ops. Check your systems.
that mission
Engine is shut down.
controllers are working on.
Okay, engine shutdown.
It's an engine
Okay.
shutdown notice.
Is
We'll
it-
see what comes out of this. But they are all on
Did
different
they
loops having separate
proxy?
conversations. So all the
Let me see.
information that we have
Let
and
us
that
see.
folks have at home isn't
Let's
necessarily
watch it.
the exact
What the
vibe inside the
better
room. So we'll stand by
breath.
and listen in to
Let's
see
listen
what
in.
we have here. I did hear Dr. Crane call out that they are getting readings for lunar
Folks are moving to the
acceleration.
post-landing court procedure.
Okay, looks like slightly. There's also happy faces
All right,
there,
Spark,
I
I'm gonna
guess.
start shutting some stuff off as soon
Maybe.
as we can.
Copy. Can you meet me on my loop, please?
Maybe.
Feed
Let's
lines
see.
are
Let's see.
inerting.
All right, so if we have enough data to be inerting feed lines,
Okay,
that
come on.
means the engine's no longer running, and it's a state to bleed off that extra pressure. This is part of that safing bit that we talked about earlier, Leah. Looks like our CEO, Steve Altmus, just stepped into the room. That's in the bottom right hand of the box here, talking to the mission director, Dr. Tim Crane. He
Yeah.
just called out, telling Spark to turn some things
So
off.
to anyone
That's because we need
that comes to
remain
my
in a
stream,
power
welcome,
positive
welcome.
state, Leah, getting that top deck solar array into a spot where we are able to
not
charge,
easy for me to
and
just
sometimes you have
do
to turn a
this
few
live.
things off to make sure
But
that
hey,
you're charging
but
and not just
hey,
burning through that power.
hey. Oh no, come on, please don't drop internet, please don't. Okay, very good.
All right, by my countdown clock, it's been about 22 minutes since we started that PDI, Leah.
Mhm.
And again, we were anticipating landing at about 11:31 a.m. Central Time, 12:31 p.m. Eastern Time. It can get tricky with communications on the lander when you're in a...
Prop, do we have insight to tank pressure if we turn off the Mogies and the Iggies?
Mhm.
We would, yeah.
Well, please don't make us wait too
All
long.
right, that's code for the...
If you turn off Mogies, then we cannot inert or vent the tanks.
We can bring them
Please.
back up though, right?
Because if they
Yes.
How are my pressures?
wait
They're
for
low
this
at
for
this
too
time.
long,
Okay, turn off the Mogies
it's
and the Iggies.
going to be
Going.
a
We
bad
turn
sign.
everything off except
Please
the
don't.
cowbells.
Please don't
Yes.
make us wait too long. It will be too dangerous.
That would be
Please.
everything except MV-103 and MV-303.
All right, all this
Mhm.
activity is regarding the lander's propulsion system.
Yeah,
They're going
as you
through
hear
deciding
it
on
about
how
the
to vent
lander's
it. We heard two
propulsion
things there,
system.
Leah. We heard Mogies and Iggies.
Some call
That's
out
our
there.
motor engine gimbal system,
Please,
right? And the
please,
Mogies are
let us
igniter.
see
So they're working
what's
through the
happening right now.
process of safing this engine. At the top of the show, we talked about the priorities after touchdown, and being safe was first, followed by pulling down some health status information, and then images. And then just about 3 minutes ago, we heard Dr. Crane go ahead and say,
FM-3403 acknowledged.
we'll prioritize images. It's just about 9 minutes after
Okay,
the
I think
expected
they
landing, so let's
might.
hang tight and continue to watch this problem and
Okay,
challenges
maybe
unfold
at this point I
inside the
assume
machine
it
control.
might
Each one
land,
going through,
but
finding this
until
challenge,
then we
each one
need to
getting
see the
solved here. It sounds like
first
they're still
image,
working through venting the engine system.
at the surface of the moon or lunar. Only then we can 100% confirm is it
Let's
landing
power off the Quasonics until we get a
or
handle on
not.
what antenna we're going to pipe it through.
Copy. Quasonics is confirmed.
And also while waiting, the mission also will
Quasonics, that's our
also
radio.
bring, if I remember,
There's two
also bring
radio
the
systems on the lander.
a
It
map,
sounds like when we talk about that vehicle health
yeah,
status, we heard some things for prop.
a map,
Vehicle health
something like
status
that,
includes both a power positive state.
which
Spark
which also
636 acknowledged.
Communicating and commanding the
Nokia
lander
bring
and
their
getting a
payload
command
also to
back
the
that the
moon.
lander
So
is
technically
landing
finish
as
now is
expected.
also in
So putting those things together while we
on the
wait for
moon. If they
confirmation
succeed,
from Dr.
technically
Crane,
Finland
we have an
is in
engine that
moon
is
too.
shut down. We are
Oh,
venting
and
the
also another
engine.
one is
Spark
the Yoki.
637 acknowledged.
We are getting
Yoki, which
acknowledged
is
commands
this,
from
if
the
I
lander.
remember correctly, is the lunar
Standing by for
hopper.
confirmation from Dr. Crane.
And just
Okay,
to recap
let's
of
hear
some
the
of the timelines
confirmation.
so far today, we
The
had
Yoki,
powered descent
the lunar
initiation start
hopper,
about 25
which is
minutes ago.
FM-3406
from
acknowledged.
Japan. So we are going to see what will happen
Powered
next.
descent initiation is the braking burn that really committed us to coming down to our landing site today. We were targeting landing at about 11:30 a.m. Central Time, so about 10 minutes ago now. Again, still just standing by for some confirmation from the teams in
Okay,
node
let's hear
control.
if there's
And
any sound
hopefully a
confirmation
picture
there.
that shows the status of Athena on the lunar surface. Landing site today is Mons Mouton. It is the furthest south
Once Moonton.
target
Yeah.
for any landing up into this point.
And pretty credible
Aye.
images we just went through. You know, for those to come down during
Spark
this
638 acknowledged.
during that landing sequence, showing during that deceleration
Wow.
burn, just about
I've
10,
done an
10
hour
meters,
of
I believe that was,
that
over the
stream.
surface for those images. See who we have in there. Yep,
Okay,
down towards the
let's
bottom
see,
right
Spark
let's see.
hand side
639 acknowledged.
Maybe
of your
they
screen. We keep
already
hearing those
land.
acknowledgments of the
Let's see.
vehicle receiving our commands as we stand by for the real deciding factor here. Never a dull moment, Leah.
And we did hear that they were going into
Spark 640 acknowledged.
commanded landed ops. So can you walk us through some of what that means? I know that includes safing the engine as well.
Right, so there's different modes that we need to command, right? At the beginning of PDI, we hear the command for exec mode, all right?
Okay.
Spark 641 acknowledged.
That's executing the burn maneuver, right? When we switch over into landed ops, it's a different setting on the lander in order for us to go through those steps, safing the vehicle first and foremost, that liquid methane, liquid oxygen engine.
Yep, bring it down. Also, FM, I'd like a recommendation on whether or not we keep Talus 1 up or if we bring it down.
Okay.
It's going to be a decision on up and down for radios based
Yeah,
on
bring it down
power.
for now. We're taking the same pictures.
Okay. Yeah.
I would not recommend powering down tallest.
Mhm.
He did
Not
say
bad.
pictures.
He did say pictures,
I've already
yes.
streamed around
So
almost
hoping to
20
see the
minutes,
status of
huh?
Athena on the lunar surface soon. We were initially expecting pictures would take a couple of hours to come down as the flight teams prioritized downloading data and safing the vehicle, but this will help us better understand
Okay.
the configuration of the lander.
Currently,
Spark 642
they're
acknowledged.
looking for the health of
Every
the
time we hear Michaela come up with
spacecraft.
tunes
Porter,
there.
can you zoom in on this view?
Hopefully, it's fine. And so far as you hear, they do some saving.
Actually,
Basically,
give me the spacecraft view.
Spark 644 acknowledged.
okay, okay.
All these acknowledgements coming through.
Some acknowledgement.
Now
They
take
want
us
to.
down.
Okay,
All right, we're going to see here.
let's see.
Looks like Tim's got
Star
a good
tracker's
spot.
down.
Keep powering down things that we're not using anymore.
Okay, they are powering
Mission
down
director
some
looks like
of the instruments they are
looking up
not
at the
going to
screen. Maybe
use.
they're looking at a little
And
bit of data
right
that
now,
we do
we'll
not
only
have in front of us.
open up
Still standing by for
important
confirmation.
instrumentation needed for
But we've heard a few steps
for
go
the
through the process,
mission, of course.
venting the lander system,
So,
hopefully pulling
yeah.
down data inside of mission control, confirming Athena's status on the surface.
Mhm.
And then finally, it sounds like we've heard a couple mentions of pictures. We've shown a couple from that descent stage. And we're just going to keep standing by, looking into Nova Control here in Houston, Texas, just down the street from Johnson Space Center, to find out the situation inside of the IM-2 mission with Athena's touchdown. Again, that was about, nominally, the touchdown time is about 14
Spark
and a half
645
minutes ago.
acknowledged.
Still in contact with the vehicle right now. We know the vehicle has shut down. Its engines are powered down. We are getting acknowledgement transmissions to the vehicle.
All right, team. Keep working the problem. We're shedding power as fast as we can to keep the vehicle in good health. We are generating power. We are communicating through our telemetry radio, and we are working to evaluate exactly what our orientation is on the surface.
Spark 646 acknowledged.
So basically,
Spark 648 acknowledged.
okay. So basically, they are still shutting down some of the instrumentation that's not being used,
We know we're getting
and they are going to ensure that that the spacecraft will still be able to operate at the surface of the moon.
Earlier
Of
in the
course,
show, we talked about
maybe,
the different
maybe, just
antennas on
maybe.
the vehicle and trying to work those, but we are charging, which is a very key element to this mission. Looks like the room's filling up with our subject matter experts. Just continue working on this challenge to see where we stand.
I think this is now become a troubleshooting.
If you see
DS is back in
Troubleshooting.
You see folks walking on
Shooting,
the
folks.
bottom right hand of your screen underneath the camera. That's because the room's situational awareness is about a 65-inch TV sitting underneath of there. So what they're pointing at could be data, could be confirmation.
Okay. Almost
Hard to
30
see
minutes.
from this view, but as you see people
Minutes of
exiting the
stream.
bottom of your screen on the bottom right, there's a television monitor there that's helping them make some decisions. And
Oh no, anticipation kills me.
time of ignition for PDI, and we just hit 16 minutes since our nominal landing. If you're just joining us, we know we are sending commands to the vehicle. We have shut off equipment that has not been necessary. We know that we have an engine that has been shut off. We've commanded the vehicle into surface operations. We just heard from Dr. Tim Crane that we are generating power. We're turning things off that are no longer required. We heard one of them being the Star Tracker.
Complete.
It's one of the tools that we use to figure out Athena's
But
position in
some
space
of the
during flight.
unused no longer need to use for the instrumentation. Therefore, it shut down, and some of it just pending.
16.5 minutes since nominal landing time, and a little over 31 minutes since Athena commanded her final engine burn.
Spark
PDI.
651 acknowledged.
And like you said, Josh, we are
Porter,
communicating.
go ahead and turn on the displays for all the antennas.
We're
Okay, so
communicating.
you're going to see everyone looking up at the screen here. So when they're calling back to order, that's actually
Spark 652
in the
acknowledged.
back left of the bottom right monitor. They're changing screens inside the room.
I hope we got things
television
as soon as
up front, right in
possible.
front of the mission
I
director.
need to go to
Just
sleep.
asked to pull up the antenna configurations.
Almost approaching 2
trying
a.m.
to figure out
Spark 653 acknowledged.
which one's pointing back toward Earth. which might be the best one to use.
Need to sleep too
Towards the
at the
top
same
of the
time.
show and
Come on.
during PDI, when things got a little spicy, we talked about multipath, Leah, and that's something that we expect to happen on the South Pole. It's something we learned from during IM-1, quite frankly, with Odie. Being on the surface and radio waves taking multiple paths to get to the same destination.
Yeah. I don't know. I had already got slightly tired right now, so I don't. And plus, I don't have much idea right now, so I don't talk too much. Meanwhile, let's see the concurrent view right now.
Exists down on the lunar surface just because there are so many different ways.
Nice.
So during IM-1, we were sending out signals that were bouncing off the surface, bouncing off of
But yeah,
and making their way back to Earth. We took I think it was a Saturday and a Sunday to learn a little bit more about the multipath situation. You mentioned, Leah, Odysseus ended up breaking a leg and then laying down gently on the surface, but that communications does create a problem between multipath and learning about those things. Inside of Intuitive Machines' lunar data network, it's comprised of ground stations all over the globe, the largest one of them
good
being...
work so far. What else we got?
Okay. Deep Space Network. Whatever is it. so it will be able to communicate anything.
That is the Parks Observatory.
Yeah, if I remember,
down there, but that really is what helped us
in
pick up those weak radio signals
Australia and also Spain,
the dish we're on right now, but it's
that have that capability to do that deep space network
right now is
out there.
HY6 in Goonhilly, but I don't have that confirmation right in front of me.
AD, this is Prop. Can you confirm what is getting powered down?
Everything we can right now, Prop.
Copy.
They're powering down these systems aboard the lander because it does take quite a bit of energy to land, but we did hear good confirmation that we are also generating power.
Yeah, all these commands that are going to spark for avionics, right? Those are that's where our power is being allocated.
This question kills me. This is getting longer than expected.
Being turned off. We heard Dr. Crane say we are generating solar power.
But still bear with me. I'm still here.
Mission director called
So don't worry.
to look at the antenna configuration on the room situation.
Next time I should do this volume setting. Yeah.
And we're still standing by to see where this is going to go.
Oh, might as well just open some music, right? Yeah.
Yes, power down the chrosonics until we're ready to use it.
Yeah. Oh, might as well just open some music, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I've heard from my loop. Looks like it's fine. Just open the music while waiting. So it's getting a little bit boring right now.
It's about 20 minutes now since our intended landing time today. We're expecting that around 11:30 a.m. Central.
Just leaning a little bit back right now. Still waiting.
In the room in Nova Control here at Intuitive Machines in Houston, Texas, just down the street from Johnson Space Center, continuing to evaluate the status of the spacecraft. Continuing to communicate with the spacecraft itself.
Might as well just go and
just
look around my social media, especially this. Yeah, this is my Mastodon first.
Bear with us, folks.
Let me see. Is there any update? Is there any notifications? Yeah, doesn't look like it. Fine.
Thanks again, folks, for joining us for the IM-2 mission's landing coverage.
Okay.
Over a few things we do have coming into the studio, into our ear, that we can confirm while the folks are working inside of mission control on their own challenges. But a couple things that we do have that we can confirm. Athena is on the surface of the moon. The team is going through the process of powering down systems that are not required. We heard the mission director call out that we do have solar charging, so we continue to hear them in our ear that they're turning off different systems that are not required. We are working to figure out the orientation of the vehicle, which is important because those are our antenna systems.
And I noticed that prop frames, especially from this setting, I see
things like vehicle health data, and other images that can help us to confirm. But we
how do I
are
say?
communicating with the vehicle.
The
We've heard
OBS,
through
the OBS, it
through
has some
landing times,
drop
through
frames
nav,
there.
different call-outs
Yeah, I don't know
into
why.
the
What's the
vehicle.
issue?
We had
Maybe
direct
simply
communications
just
contact,
because of
and
the
we would tend to bring out some more
mobile
information as we
cellular
continue to
internet
assess
I'm
this
using right
dynamic
now.
situation inside
I'm
of Mission
I'm using
Control.
the hotspot
We intend
here
to have a
for my
press
laptop,
conference
of course.
at 3 o'clock Central Time. That's 4 o'clock Eastern. We'll do it right over at Johnson Space Center, Leah.
That's right. Thanks for joining us today.
And we'll have plenty of other information if anything else comes out on our website,
That
as well
it?
as our X feed to keep
Oh
everyone
no! How?
up to date. Thanks for joining
What
us,
a
folks.
what an anticlimax ending! Man, what a bummer! What a bummer! Man, what a bummer! What a bummer ending! Seriously, this is anticlimax. Okay, but I think they might land right now. They might already land at the surface of the moon. I don't know until we hear more of that. Let's just say we assume it has already landed at the surface of the moon. On the surface of the moon, of course. Yeah, we assume it happens, but for now, let's wait for how do I say? Let's wait for the first image on the moon, on the surface of the moon, so we can finally confirm if it's indeed healthy or not. At this point, from what I can hear, looks like they have some problem regarding the how do I say, the power not necessarily power generation, more like the power usage of the instrumentation. Maybe some abnormality. I can only assume that here, because it's so puzzling. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I don't have any idea. I don't have any clue. Unfortunately, I don't have much of the answer. But anyhow, if they successfully landed right now, let's say assuming there is no problem, I would say congratulations to Intuitive machine for the mission, but there is no certainty. I will try to update that information and pin it on at the comment section as time goes by, if there's any. But if not, I don't know. But anyhow, the next one in few hours, let's just say, should be 5 hours plus from now, SpaceX will launch Starship, especially for the Starship flight number 8, where it's almost similar to the Flight 7 mission, but the difference is that instead of deploying those 10 Starlink simulators, they will instead cut 6 of it and will instead deploy 4 Starlink simulators. So be ready and watch out for that. I will try to update as soon as possible if there's any, let's say for example, maybe any delays. If I mean, delay is still good as long they decided to still launch this morning, but I hope not too much delay because I do need to go to the class. Okay, but anything, maybe delay, maybe even change of date, well, we're gonna see what will happen next. So that's it, guys. Not going to drag too long. Okay, almost watching 40 minutes in so of this stream. So that's it, guys. Here we go. Thank you so much for watching, and this is my closing word. This is Daniel Suguwa signing out, and bye bye. Take care, everybody. Yeah, I should change this. Let me amend this because I have to do this as soon as possible, right? Yeah, so this is how it looks like. Okay, that's how it should look like. So yeah, so sorry for that, for that bork. Some overlap mission, huh? Yeah. Yeah, so in case you watch, how do I say, in case you watch the previous stream, you get the idea why I didn't change the image there. Yeah, because I have to do this a little bit last minute changes there. But here we go, some amendment there. So sorry. And that's it. Goodbye. Not going to drag too much time, so I'm not going to cut myself off. So here we go. In 5, 4,